Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. We're continuing my record collection, 5,800 albums. We're up to the letter N. This one is manageable, as you'll be able to see. We got 25 artists, 108 albums, so a big change from letter M. We could breathe easy. Before I dig into N, a couple of quick things. I forgot to show you two albums that I had in my backlog from the letter M. Maybe you can help me out with them. One of them is just called Mandrill. I have not heard this yet. I bought this at a yard sale probably 2 years ago. I've never heard it. It looked interesting. So, I don't know. I decided to buy it, and I haven't heard it yet. The other one I got at the same show, and that was about same state sale, yard sale, about 2 years ago. This is a classic. This is McDonald and Giles. This is the solo record, King Crimson guys. Michael Giles, the drummer, and Ian McDonald, of course, guitar, piano. And Steve Winwood's on this thing. I have not played this yet. I've had this for 2 years. I think this is a pretty hard to find vinyl album, and it's in mint shape. So, I don't know. Let me know about those two if you're familiar with them. I forgot to show those in the letter M. Also, I just got a comment from Adam about 15 minutes ago, and I was about to film N, what we're doing. And he asked me the Paul McCartney book I mentioned. This is it. It's called The Songs He Was Singing. I don't know. It says $32. I paid $2 for it at a flea market. The Ultimate Discography by John Blaney. This guy, John Blaney, actually did a book, the same thing on John Lennon, and it was awesome. And now I'm reading this one. And he literally goes through every album and every song, and he must have quite the collection because he shows pictures of the 45s and the different variations and stuff like that. And really good book. I'm actually really enjoying it. It actually goes up through the live one back in the USA, so it's pretty comprehensive. Excellent book if you can find it, if you like those kind of books. So I thought I would mention that. I also like it because he's very critical, as I am. You've probably noticed that. Even my favorite bands, the Stones or whatever, I have a lot of sayings, right? Sizzle, not steak, blah, blah, blah. But one of them is, if everything's great, nothing's great. You know, you got to have comparisons. If everything's 5 stars, this is great, then nothing's great. It doesn't make sense. It's one of the problems I have with AllMusic. If you ever go to allmusic.com, man, you look at the best bands, the Stones or who, everything's like 5 stars. Everything can't be 5 stars. So, my 2 cents. All right, 2 minutes 48. Let's enough yapping. Let's get into the letter N. We're starting with Graham Nash, and I really like Graham Nash. I've seen him solo. Songs for Beginners, a classic. I think this album's amazing. His debut solo album. And if you know my channel, I talked about it. I think a year or so ago, I finally picked up Wild Tales, which I think is his second solo record. I had never picked it up because it always got bad reviews, and I thought it was great. So go figure. And this is a really good one. All the CSN guys have this kind of box. This is the Graham Nash one, and it's called Reflections. And this is fully loaded, man. 3 discs. And it's just terrific. You get a wonderful cross-section of Graham Nash's career, and the Hollies, and Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and solo, and Crosby, Nash. And you open it up, and it kind of looks like this. And Crosby's got a box like this, as does Stephen Stills. And it comes with a really big book over there. Look at the size of that. Really, really well done. I mean, I love this. And to be completely honest, well, I'm always honest. Out of CSNY, Neil Young is my favorite. You know, he's just in a class by himself. But after that, my other favorite would be Graham Nash. I think he's wonderful. So there you go, Graham. Box set. And that is Graham Nash. Next up, I don't have any vinyl or CDs of Nazareth, but I know you're going to mention it. I do have some vinyl 45, so I'm just saying. And their version of Love Hurts is unbelievable. But I have it on 45 and I have it on compilations. But no, I don't have any Nazareth albums. I have had. So I knew it's going to come up. I just don't really care for them. I can only take his voice in little bits. And I had Hair of the Dog. I had the greatest hits. And I'm like, you know what? I have them on compilations. I got them on 45s. It's enough. So I'm just letting you know about Nazareth because it just popped into my head. All right. out of the letter N, there are two artists that I have at least 20 albums from. What do you think? Can you think about it? What do you think that might be in the letter N? Not so easy to think of. The first one is Right Now, and that is the band Nectar. I am a big progressive rock fan, and the classic Nectar with Roy, their legendary period, I think they're up there to me, in the golden top with Genesis and Yes and Pink Floyd and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and I put Nectar up there as well as others. So I'm just saying, here's the debut, Journey to the Center of the Eye, and this is the original CD version. And then you're going to see a bunch of deluxe editions. There's a Tab in the Ocean. I have had these on vinyl. I've had them on CD, and on occasion they're upgraded. This is a beauty because you got the original 72 mix and the 76 US mix, and an official bootleg of live material from Germany, and it opens up like this. And Tab in the Ocean is a classic. The opening album, Journey to Center, is a bit of a tougher listen, more psychedelic. Tab in the Ocean, you really start getting, a little bit more commercial. Let's say here's Sounds Like This, another Nectar-approved remastered deluxe edition. This was originally a 2-vinyl album, and another great one. And looks like that. These are great. Got nice booklets in there. And the thing with Nectar is they have remastered and reissued their albums multiple times. None more so than Remember the Future, which I think is one of the greatest albums of all time. Certainly one of the greatest progressive albums of all time. Here's the, had it on vinyl, of course. Here's the CD with bonus tracks. And this is one of the latter deluxe editions again. And it looks like that. Bonus materials. You got the 76 Boston tapes, right? 1970 Boston tapes. There are lots of versions of Remember the Future. I mean, it's like an institution just of this album. It deserves it. Remember the Future is, in my opinion, by far the best Nectar album. And I think it's an essential album. I don't give too many albums 5 stars. This one's pretty damn close. And if you want to discover Nectar, this is the one to do it in. It's an amazing album. Very melodic, easy on the ears, but progressive, just great. This is a cool one, different versions of it. This is on CD Sunday night at the London Roundhouse, a place I visited when I was in London. And this is a live show, but it's got other stuff on here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great stuff. Always great to see Remember the Future live on these. This is great. Now you get Down to Earth, thematic circus type album. This comes in a slipcase. And you get 2 versions of it. You get the original Chipping Norton mixes and the album version, and it comes out like that. And this is great. There's the hype sticker on there. Then you got Recycled, another classic. This is another great one, and special edition contains the unreleased Geoff Emerick mix. So you get each song there twice. The original album and the Geoff Emerick mix. Another amazing classic Nectar album. This one's interesting. The leader, Roy Albrighton, left the band at this point, and they kept going, and they put out this album, Magic is a Child. You know who that is on the cover? That is a very young Brooke Shields. And this is great because you get the album plus bonus tracks. But this, too, you get live at Hofstra University, New York, 1977. That was a radio broadcast. Remember, I live on Long Island. I'm very close to Hofstra University. And when they broadcast that show, I taped it on 8-track. So it was thrilling that they finally released it on this deluxe edition of Magic is a Child. Here's Live in New York. Nectar had a good following in New York. And this is a great double live album from the Academy of Music, which was later known as the Palladium. And they've released this album as 2 versions, but that's the full one. Here's a really good compilation at the time called The Dream Nebula, the best of 71 and 75. Some of their compilations do not have great sound, but this one I thought was okay. There's a better one that I'm going to show you. That was the end of Nectar pretty much. Then they did come back, and this is an album called The Prodigal Son. These latter-day ones, I appreciated them coming back, and I actually saw them live. Here's one called Man in the Moon. And as much as I like these albums, they just didn't hit me anywhere like those classic ones. So if you want to get into Nectar, go with those classic ones. But if you're a Nectar fanatic, Evolution is a latter-day one. These are good. They're good records. You know, I'm glad to have them, but, you know, they don't affect me like those classics. Here's Door to the Future, the Light Show tapes. Nectar has gone deep and releasing archive material. Here's the German tour 1974. And it's okay. And Book of Days, a latter-day studio album. And they came back, and, you know, more power to them, trying to make a living, and touring, and I saw them. Here's one called A Spoonful of Time, kind of a cool cover. This is not one that I like. This is Nectar doing covers, and I just, good guess enough, but I just don't need to hear Nectar do Rush or anybody else. And then this is Time Machine, the last studio record that I got by them. And same story. It's okay. This is the one I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you could find this thing. This is wonderful. Nectar Retrospective, 1969 to 1980. The sound on this is extraordinary. And as you can see, cherry picks from each of their albums. You get a good selection. Most importantly, the sound is fantastic. And this is highly, highly recommended. So it actually came with like a pin and a poster. Here's a pin, Nectar. So yeah, this is a nice box. This is great, if you could find it. All right, Nectar right there with 20 albums. See if you can think about who's the other one that's got more than 20 albums. All right, we're up to Bill Nelson. The only solo record I have, I'm a really big Bebop Deluxe fan. This is the only one I have. Bill Nelson's Red Noise. Sound on Sound. I cannot tell you how it is. I have not heard it. It's been in my backlog for over a year. Okay, Rick Nelson, who I like. And Garden Party. This is such a great song. You know the story of that song. He played Madison Square Garden, and it was like the 50s other artists, and they're all playing the hits. And he's like, I don't want to play the hits. I want to play my new stuff. And he got booed off the stage, and he wrote Garden Party about that experience. The Best of Rick Nelson Volume 2 is an excellent single disc collection of a lot of classics and that are a little bit deeper known. This is a more popular one, Rick Nelson's Greatest Hits. Very much different tracks. They don't merge much at all. And there's the ones that you would probably know more often. He's real talents. Now, here's a hell of a box set called Legacy Rick Nelson. This is still in my backlog. 4 discs, and it covers his whole career, as you can see. Really, really well done. A ton of stuff. Really nice cover. And a nice book as well. This is the book. And this is also in my backlog. This is a lot of material to go through. And I think this has been in my backlog for about 2 years as well. I like Rick Nelson. I just can't keep up with the backlog. But I'm trying. Which leads us to the next Nelson, which is Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson. What do I got? 6 Willie Nelson albums. Red-Headed Stranger. I love this one. This is deluxe edition with bonus tracks. This is a classic, I think. And then we got a deluxe edition of Stardust. Love Willie Nelson's voice, and very enjoyable to hear him doing like these classic songs. Wonderful. And the Great American Songbook. That's a deluxe edition of that. A latter-day album at that time was Across the Borderline, a mighty fine album. Produced by Don Was, and featuring songs by Paul Simon and Bob Dylan and Peter Gabriel and John Hyatt and Willie himself. Good album. You want to get a collection, you can't go wrong with the Essential Willie Nelson, as seen on TV, I guess. 2-disc set, just loaded with tracks. Look at all of that on 2 discs. They really cover it. Here's another nice one called Willie Nelson Songs. And opens up like that. Great shot of his guitar. You got to love that. And this is a really good collection. Like it a lot. A couple of duets on there. Waylon Jennings, Merle Haggard, etc. Real good record. And Willie Nelson, another box set. We got this one called One Hell of a Ride. And this is a 4-disc set of Willie Nelson right there. So I got the 2 with the Essential. And it might be kind of hard to see, but 4 discs really covers a lot of ground, man. If you want a lot of Willie Nelson in one package, this is probably the way to go. And it's really sleek and beautiful booklet. One hell of a ride indeed. Willie Nelson. I mean, this is beautiful. So yeah, and this is great. And then it's got the discography in the back. Yeah, really well done. So that's a good one with his guitar. With the big hole in it. Gotta love that, right? I love that. All right, Willie. Let's put you back in here. And let's keep going. So that's Willie Nelson. What do I got? 6 Willie Nelson albums included in the box. All right, another Nelson. How about Lukas Nelson? He's a work in progress. I only have 2 of his albums, but I love them. In fact, one of them was a top 3 album. This is Turn Off the News, Build a Garden. I love this one. This was just great. Lukas Nelson, Promise of the Real. They were backing up Neil Young for a while. And this is a terrific album. This was a huge hit for me, including the title track. And then A Few Stars Apart was my follow-up from that with him. And another fine release. Didn't have quite the impact for me as this one, but still really good. Lukas Nelson and Promise of the Real. Okay, next up we have Michael Nesmith and the First National Band. This is a compilation album that's got 2 full-length albums on here. I have listened to this twice in my backlog. I'm not loving it. You know, he's legendary, you know, obviously from the Monkees, but he was, you know, this was really one of the first country rock kind of bands in its time, Michael Nesmith and the First National Band. And 2 of his most highly regarded albums. Honestly, I'm just kind of not sure if I want to keep them. Okay. Next up, we got, Nectar. I forgot another Nectar album. This is Through the Ears on vinyl. Includes live and studio material previously unreleased in America. This was an American compilation 2 vinyl set, and they gave us part of half of Remember the Future as well on there. This was really good. Vinyl album. One of my first Nectar albums, actually, was that. Okay, next up was Nena. And all I decided to keep at this time is 99 Love Balloons. I used to have the whole album, and I'm like, you know what? I really only care for the song. So that's a 12-inch of that. Okay, we're up to the Neville Brothers. And what do we got from the Nevilles? I got the legendary For You in the Bayou. Classic album and just fantastic. And then I got a double best of mini box set called Treacherous, A History of the Neville Brothers, Disc 2 and Disc 1. This is Disc 2, but they're both in here. I kind of created them like that. There's one as well. And this is a great 2 CD box set. And then I got another one called The Best of the Neville Brothers, Uptown Rulin'. I seem to be more than happy just having these Neville Brothers compilations and the classic For You in the Bayou. It's enough for me. I've gotten others, including a live record, was it Yellow Moon? I had that as well, but didn't keep it. Alrighty. After the Neville Brothers, we got an interesting one. I was going to put it under Ron Wood, because it really is kind of Ron Wood, but we're not. This is the New Barbarians, and they started out at this concert on bootleg, the New Barbarians and the Rolling Stones Blind Date. This is when Keith had to do a concert for the blind to get him out of prison in April of 1979. This was the first performance of the New Barbarians and the Stones. So they both played for that concert. And this is a great vinyl bootleg from the day. I don't know why I still have a price tag on it. $25 was a ton of money when I got this bootleg. Bootlegs used to be a fortune. So I got this like in 1980 maybe. All right, let's look at some other New Barbarians. Meet is Berta. This is a bootleg, because for the longest time, the New Barbarians was only on bootleg. This was their Fort Worth concert in May of '79. They were formed and performed for Ron Wood when he did the Gimme Some Neck solo tour. Now, that was really the New Barbarians. They call this one the First Barbarians, live from Kilburn. But this is really Ron Wood and Keith Richards performing at Kilburn State to promote his first solo record. It really was not the New Barbarians at that time. But this is a really cool show on CD and on DVD when Ron was promoting his beginning of his solo career from I Got My Own Album to Do. The New Barbarians were really from 79. And they did finally release some authorized bootlegs, like this one called Live in Maryland, Buried Alive. And that was the set list. And it was a cool show. I actually saw this show live. I love Give Me Some Next, my favorite Ron Wood album. And it didn't hurt because I saw the show at Madison Square Garden. Lo and behold, that's this one, Live at Madison Square Garden. May 7, 1979. And that's what it looks like. And this is a bootleg of it. It's not the complete show, unfortunately. It was a fun show. And in fact, there's a book here on the history of the New Barbarians. And I'm showing you the book. I'm not showing books in these video series, but I'm showing you this book, The History of the New Barbarians, and how they formed and why, because it comes with a CD as well. Another bootleg live CD. So New Barbarians is only live stuff. There's not a studio record. The studio record was Give Me Some Neck, Ron Wood's solo record, and Troublemaker from Ian McLaughlin, which was in the M video, is probably about the closest you can get to a studio record, although Ron Wood doesn't sing on it. There you go, New Barbarians. A bunch of stuff. Next up is a band called New England, and this is the album called New England. Little known band. And then we got another one called New England 1978. There you go. Let me know if you know much about New England. I think they're okay. And then we got the New Riders of the Purple Sage. Love them. Offshoot of the Grateful Dead initially. Here's their classic debut album, and this is phenomenal with bonus tracks. And then the next one was Powerglide. They're a really fun band. There's their version of I Don't Need No Doctor. Very different than Humble Pie. New Adventures of Panama Red. You probably remember Panama Red, Panama Red. And one of the great covers is the best of the New Riders of the Purple Sage. Okay, that's the New Riders right there. And then after that, we got Randy Newman. I got a whopping 3 albums from him. Little Criminals. Short People. This is a good one. Lonely at the Top, the best of Randy Newman, digitally remastered. This is loaded, man. A lot of songs on there, and pretty much all I need. I did have on vinyl, and I kept it on CD. Land of Dreams is the last Randy Newman album I loved. I can take him in bits and pieces. I don't need more Randy Newman, but good stuff. Are you ready? We're up for the next really big one. Who is the biggest one I have in the letter N? Well, it's going to be none other than Olivia. I know a lot of people not make fun of me. They're like, I can't believe how much you like Olivia Newton-John. What can I tell you? Really like her. So let me show you. I got a lot of her stuff on vinyl because it's very hard to find her original stuff on CD. Here's If You Love Me, Let Me Know. And listen, I don't love everything Olivia does. I think she's an incredible singer, and she is. And here's a Japanese import. This is a nice one. Beauty, right? And then, Have You Never Been Mellow? If you really want to appreciate her, Have You Never Been Mellow, the title track, not only does she have a voice to die for, and it's really her voice, not studio work, her phrasing. Just listen to how she sings Have You Never Been Mellow, and the different ways she whispers. Sometimes it goes up and she goes down. Her phrasing is tremendous. I melt. Here's Clearly Love, and I got a couple of versions of this one. One's Japanese. Got a bunch of her Japanese albums for some reason. And then here's a Japanese one. This is the Japanese one with the obi. So it's a good record. Not amazing, but it's good. Here she is on CD, Come On Over. It's the only one I have from those original ones on CD. You just really can't find her on CD for some reason. It's the damnedest thing. How about Don't Stop Believin'? I mean, yeah, it doesn't hurt that she's absolutely gorgeous. It doesn't hurt that everybody says she's one of the nicest, most genuine people in the world. But she's really good when she's good. Totally Hot when she kind of changed the look a little bit. And some great tracks on this one. And, of course, the big one at the time was Physical. I think this is a Japanese import of it as well. Came with a insert and a poster. I mean, it folds out. Doesn't hurt that she looks that way, but she backs it up with more than enough talent. And, of course, Physical was pretty risque in its time. And then they created the video to offshoot some of the, trouble that she was getting into for it. But this is phenomenal. I've talked about this one. I love this one. It's called Love Performance, Olivia Newton-John. And this is a live one before she was really big from Physical. I love this one. It comes with a big poster, and I think I've showed this one. This is, love it. I don't think we got enough time to fold all of this, right? You want me to unfold that a little bit, sort of like that? All right, Olivia. I got a bunch of her laser discs as well. All right, where are we at to? Let's keep going. How about this one? Olivia Newton-John's Greatest Hits 71-82 on vinyl, double album. Looks like that. Looks like that. And this one, I know for you vinyl people, it's got like a pink vinyl and a blue vinyl. If you like that kind of stuff, I mean, it's kind of fun. I'm not a huge vinyl guy that makes such a difference, but it's kind of cool. Here's a pink one. So great double collection of all it's showing all of her different looks, and great stuff. I mean, it's hard not to like her greatest hits albums because all the songs are really good. She did with Xanadu with ELO. Terrible movie, although kind of goofy to watch on Laserdisc, which I have. But a lot of the music on there is really good. And this is a Latter Day one called Soul Kiss, which is not so great. The title track's good. Warm and Tender. This is like she did for her kids. So when I have grandkids, which I don't have, I'll play that. This is a hits collection called Back to Basics. There was a couple of new tracks on here. But it's hard not to like these songs. I mean, her great songs are just great. Of course, when she was struggling with breast cancer, she actually became a songwriter. And here's Gaia, One Woman's Journey. And this is some great stuff on here. Don't Cut Me Down is a song she wrote. And I've mentioned it many times. If you've never heard her doing Don't Cut Me Down, it's extraordinary. Honestly Love You, her greatest hits, is a compilation. She has a lot of compilations. Here's one called Back with a Heart, her latter day stuff. So here she's actually writing songs, and sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're okay. This is a really good live album called One Woman's Live Journey, and she covers a big chunk of her career all on one CD. That's excellent. Magic is a single best of compilation. Great stuff for sure. And Indigo, Women of Song. You know, when she was really struggling with breast cancer, she really opened up her heart. Here's Gold, an excellent 2 CD collection of the best of her whole career. And this one is Stronger Than Before. Again, she was struggling through breast cancer, writing songs and opening up about it. Here's an interesting one called Grace and Gratitude. And this one's almost new agey. She'll do a song, and then you have like interludes in between, and it's very mellow for people who are going through rough times. Really nice. And Olivia Live Hits, another one. This is a relatively short CD, but what's on there is really good. So there you have Olivia Newton-John, a whopping 22 albums, 23 albums actually, and she's the biggest N that I have with Nectar. Next up, we got The Nice, and we got Elegy, that great album cover with bonus tracks. We got Five Bridges, another excellent album cover with bonus tracks. And how about a box set right here of the Immediate Anthology 3 CD set, the whole history of The Nice. Looks like that. including those early years where they had songs and not just instrumental type stuff. Really cool stuff from the immediate years. And speaking of which, here is a great vinyl album that I have. My first Nice album was called Autumn to Spring, and this is exactly those really early tracks. And the funny thing is, these are my favorite tracks from the Nice, as opposed to the latter instrumental type stuff. Okay, after the Nice, we got I'm Wearing the Shirt. We got Stevie Nicks, and I got a whole bunch of Stevie Nicks stuff, including Belladonna, her debut solo record, which is one of the great albums of all time. It really is. Belladonna is as good as she gets. Perfect album. The Wild Heart came next, which was also fine album. Trouble in Shangri-La. So I cherry pick her albums. I don't like all of her albums, but the three I'm showing you are really good. This one is Crystal Visions, the very best of Stevie Nicks. It's amazing how successful her career has become. She's actually, I think, bigger than Fleetwood Mac, which is incredible. The soundstage sessions, her voice changed, but certainly a major talent, no doubt about it. Here's In Your Dreams, a latter-day studio record, which is good. Here's Dave Stewart. And this is called Songs from the Vault, 24 Karat Gold. Good collection of vault-type stuff. Stevie Nicks, really good career, obviously. She's huge. Next up, Nilsson, Greatest Hits. I only have one album from him, and that's all I need. And Nirvana. Let's talk about Nirvana. So I have Unplugged in New York, which I absolutely love, and I actually have on Laserdisc. And then I have a bootleg called All Acoustically, because I thought them acoustic was really cool. And this is a really good bootleg on Kiss the Stone. And then I have the Black Album, the Best of Greatest Hits of Nirvana. I did have the 4 CD box set, but I got rid of it. I just didn't need it. Now you're going to say, where the hell is Nevermind? And it's a really good question. Nevermind I had on CD, thought it was amazing. And then I got a good deal on buying the reissue of it on vinyl, Nevermind, on like 180 gram. And I traded in the CD for the vinyl. And then when I brought the vinyl home, I wasn't impressed. The vinyl had pops, and it was like new. I'll tell you, some new vinyl just doesn't sound that great to me. And I wound up selling that. And now I don't have Nevermind, so I'm looking for it on CD again. So that's my story about that. But I know every song on it. All right, let's keep going. We're up to the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. And this classic album right there with a Circle B Unbroken on original vinyl. This is one of those monster albums that for vinyl people who love packaging, they probably love this one. This thing is a monster. It opens up like that, and opens up like that, and then it opens like that. And just a ton of tracks. The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band and the classic Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Triple vinyl. All right, we are up to No Doubt, and I have Tragic Kingdom. Classic. Rocksteady. No Doubt. A classic as well. And then I also have this box set called Boombox, which is actually pretty cool. And what you got on there is a bunch of stuff. And it was a really well-priced box at the time. So you got the singles collection, which was really good. And then you got the videos on DVD. And then you got the book. And then you got everything in time. Some more tracks, rarities. And Live at the Tragic Kingdom on DVD. This is a really good box set if you like, No Doubt, if it's still out there. And it came with a really nice book as well. So 3 albums to a certain extent, but it's really closer to 5 albums. All right. Where do you put this one, on the A or N? I put it on the N. Aldo Nova, the classic debut. Somebody, I think, mentioned you don't have that. No, I got this. Fantasy, Hot Love. That was a good one. Okay, we're getting closer to the end. We are up to NRBQ, and I got 2 albums from them. Oh, Stevie Nicks, by the way, the box set, Enchanted. Back in the day, this was, pretty good. 3 discs and a really nice booklet. Nowadays the box sets are much bigger than 3 discs, but this was really good. And the hits and other stuff, forgot about that. All right, we are up to NRBQ, their classic album, Live at Yankee Stadium. This is a great one. And then they got the best of NRBQ Peekaboo, which is 1969 to 1989. This is a 2 CD set with really nice booklets, and it was on Rhino. And that's pretty much all I really need from NRBQ. Me and the boys, Yankee Stadium, really good stuff. Okay, that leaves 2 left. One is Ted Nugent. I'm just really not a fan, but I do keep this album because I like some of his stuff. And this is the best of Ted Nugent, Great Gonzos. There you have it. All I really need. I had this really big box of his, but it was just too much. I didn't need it. And then Laura Nyro, Time and Love, The Essential Masters, 16 of her greatest hits. I know a lot of people love her. People are like, how do you not have more Laura Nyro? And I'll tell you why. I've gotten her albums. I appreciate her, but I just don't really have much of a desire to listen to her. And I know the cover versions from the Fifth Dimension and things like that. So for me, believe it or not, when I want to listen to Laura Nyro, which is not all that often, this is all I need. I know people think she's the greatest. I think she's really good, but I limited it down to Time and Love, The Essential Masters. So there you have it, folks. 25 artists, 108 albums in 36 casual minutes. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know your thoughts. How shocked are you that Olivia Newton-John is my #1 quantity-wise? 23 albums, and Nectar with a whopping 20. But a good selection of artists under the letter N. We'll be doing letter O in a couple of days. And as always, I appreciate your comments. I appreciate you watching. I think it's kind of fun. It's actually been fun for me. I'm actually doing an inventory. So I've been dumping stuff by going through this saying, I don't need this anymore. And comparing my database with what I have, it's been spot on. So pretty fun. All right, as always, thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe. Check the other videos. See you next time on the Alan Rosenberg Show.